Punk Revolution now. Today we are going to be talking about the most pathetic artist of all time, Negative XP. Out of all the artists I've ever listened to, honestly, he just might be the most pathetic person of all time. It's unbelievable. He's a troll who's been getting on my nerves for a couple years now at least. And he recently posted the most pathetic thing I've ever seen anyone ever post on the internet, which I'll show you in a bit. Let me just show you this real quick here. We've got Negative XP's Spotify page, and you can see he's got, how much has he got? 237,000 monthly listeners, that's a lot. That's a lot. But if you take a look here at, where are those streams coming from? You can see most of it is coming from his top most popular song, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Ruined a Whole Generation of Women, which has 12 million streams compared to all the others, which don't have as many streams. To be entirely clear, all these songs are awful. The melodies are boring, the production is bad, it's very bland, mediocre, lo-fi pop music, pitchy singing, it's just bad music. But, Negative XP has managed to make a kind of a career out of this, and you're probably wondering, so if the music is so bad, how did this song, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Ruined a Whole Generation of Women, how did this song manage to get so many streams? The long story short here is that basically this song is packed to the brim with just oozing hatred and frustration towards women. I mean, it's a song about how a whole generation of women is ruined, and he's just raging about women who have their hair dyed and wear Doc Martens and have BPD and have sex, and it's just he's just seething. And it's if you listen to the song, it's what are these women that you're so angry at doing wrong? The lyrics there's nothing interesting in this song at all. It's just oozing misogyny and hatred. It's just you just picture the classic 4chan Twitter troll who simply doesn't really communicate much with women, so he gets his entire idea of what women and feminists are like based off 4chan. They dye their hair and whatever, live in New York City, whatever, and he just gets all that frustration out. It's pathetic as fuck. And this song is basically an anthem for all the 4chan trolls. You can call them incels, involuntary celibates, the online community who centers their entire personality around being edgy on the internet and hating women. It's really, really pathetic. He has earned the title of incel core. A lot of people see him as the leading artist of this genre of incel core. Incel core is basically just mediocre, poorly produced, poorly executed, lo-fi garage rock and lo-fi indie pop music that people post online that has no artistic value whatsoever, but a whole community of people gather around and listen to it because it strokes their ego and makes them feel special. It makes them feel oh, I'm so different from the normies because I'm not afraid to say the N-word on the internet. Just the most pathetic people, probably 15 years old, and Negative XP is a grown man who's really profiting off of it. So yeah, I hope you can kind of see what I'm going at here. This is not just a dude whose entire aesthetic of being a guy who can't get laid, who's sexually frustrated at women. That's pathetic. His music is awful. That's pathetic too. But no, the bigger picture is Negative XP is genuinely a bitter, narcissistic, bad person, and he's having a really massive influence on a bunch of very young, impressionable kids on the internet who think that any of this is socially acceptable, that any of this is punk, that any of this makes him cool, when really it's just the most generic, streamlined, alt-right kid who just goes on the internet and just believes literally everything he sees on the internet about what women are like. And that's basically Negative XP in the nutshell. So now let me show you what he posted. That is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen anyone post ever, that it just literally hurt me. It hurt me. So you can see here we got Negative XP. This is his Twitter account. He goes by Shooter, which is short for school shooter. Ha ha ha. Just literally the most uncreative, edgy name you can possibly think of. He posted this tweet titled "My Manifesto" by Negative XP. I really don't like this guy, but I follow him on Twitter because, let's be real, there's nothing more fun than reading the social media posts of people that you hate, and I'm like, okay, he posted this wall of text about whatever, his manifesto. So let's go ahead and take a look now. Let's go ahead and read together what the hell this manifesto he posted is. All right, so this is what he posted on Twitter. It's a long thing, so I'll start. I'm just an average guy that was born into a working class family. I don't have any journalist or industry friends to push a narrative like a lot of other artists. I don't think I created a new genre, and I didn't think I could have propagated what it would be called anyway or that mattered. But incelcore is one of the stupidest and vile sounding terms I've ever heard. To me, it's more disgusting than the word, and then he literally just goes ahead and says the N-word with the hard R, types it out. I blurted it out because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. You don't call rap core or hyperpop and then transphobic word pop. The term incelcore is an uncreative slur. Let's just pause right here. We're only 2 paragraphs in, and this is already unbelievably stupid. Basically with this just a little spoiler alert, this entire wall of text is going to be basically Negative XP begging for sympathy because people refer to his music as incelcore, and he doesn't like that term, so he's comparing himself to he just dropped the N-word and stuff, and he's saying as if he's oppressed for being called incelcore. Spoiler alert, Negative XP, people call you incelcore because your music literally is only successful because you've made your entire lyrics and personality around hating women. That's the only reason you're successful. Your music sucks ass. That's the only reason anyone cares about you is because you are an incel. That's it. That's literally it. You take your most popular song about how a whole generation of women have been ruined by a movie, and you replace the lyrics about going to the beach or just a normal fucking song. No one's gonna give a shit about it because the song sucks. The only reason that song got popular is because it's just seething and just oozing with hatred towards women. That's your entire career's success is based around you being a fucking pathetic loser. That's what people fucking listen to you for, man. So I don't fucking drop slurs, and throw other people under the bus while trying to garner sympathy. It's shameful that society devalues chastity and Christian values because of the media, and terms like incel and Nazi are common. I don't glamorize sex or drugs in my songs because I've suffered the negative consequences of a sinful lifestyle, not because I have a yearning to fuck whores and sedate myself. The crazy thing about this is exactly what an incel would say. An incel would say, oh, I'm different than everyone else because I don't yearn to fuck whores and sedate myself. I'm better than the rest of the people in society because I'm above the sinful desires to have sex. First off, no, you're not. I know deep down you want to fuck some girls. That's why you're so misogynistic. No one who actually has no desire to fuck goes around making pathetic posts like this and making a fucking entire career around being a misogynist. That is like the most sexually frustrated, most sinful bullshit I've ever fucking seen. He's begging you, don't call him an incel, while basically making the case better than anyone else that he is literally the ultimate incel. I've joked about being an incel, but that's separate and unrelated to my music, just like how my online presence isn't how I behave in person. I will never accept the term incel core. It's insulting and queer. No comment. The defining characteristics of the music are their rock based on songs shared almost exclusively through streaming and the internet, so terms like internet rock or online punk or e-punk should be used instead. These terms are coherent and concise, whereas incelcore is almost unintelligible. So this is really the crux of the whole post. This is what I want everyone to see right here. You look through all this whining about people calling him an incel and how he's better than everyone else because he doesn't sing about wanting to have sex. No. That's all bullshit. This is what it's all about. He wants a rebranding. He doesn't like the term incelcore. He knows his legacy as a musician is going to be that he's basically a fucking pathetic asshole. And what he's doing with this whole post is he's trying to garner pity. People categorize my music in a way I don't like. Please rebrand it to something cooler for me. Please rebrand it to e-punk or online punk or internet rock. That's what this is all about. This is all just a pity party, and then in the middle he sneaks in and, oh, by the way, please rebrand me to a cooler term like online punk or internet rock. Newsflash, you're not special just because you upload your fucking music onto the internet. That's what fucking literally every fucking indie artist is doing right now. You don't get a special category of music just because you upload your music on streaming websites. Literally everyone fucking does it. The thing that defines your music, that makes it different than everyone else, the reason it has any attention whatsoever is because you literally are a fucking piece of shit who fucking just profits off misogyny. That's what it's all about. There's nothing punk about your music. It's lo-fi indie pop trash that's horribly executed. There's nothing punk about it. Punk is supposed to be freaking like, challenging the system. Negative XP's music doesn't challenge the system. It just panders to people who feel special because they can't get laid. That's all it is. There's nothing controversial about Negative XP's music. It's very two-dimensional and plain and easy to see, okay? I'm fucking tired of Negative XP and his fans thinking that they're punk, okay? This is fucking just ridiculous, okay? There's nothing punk about it. It's like if you're in class and you stand up in the middle of class and you go up to some random girl and punch her in the face and you're like, ooh, wasn't I so controversial? Everyone's gonna look at you like, no, that wasn't fucking controversial. There's no controversy. That was just straight up fucking stupid and mean. That's all there is to it. There's no controversy. There's nothing controversial. It's just fucking stupid and everyone sees it besides them. We don't call music on the radio normiecore. Okay, by the way, Negative XP, you're a fucking normie. All your fans are fucking normies. Every fucking low IQ dumb idiot on the fucking internet who's fucking 14 years old, who doesn't get a fucking enough tensions from friends and family, they go on the internet and they go fucking on 4chan, they go on Twitter, and they get streamlined into this fucking dull, dumb, stupid fucking culture that you're part of. You're a fucking normie. You're not special just because you fucking dropped the N-word, dude. Insulcore is clearly originated from people who spend too much time online, TikTok, music forums, Reddit, and not by anyone that actually makes the music associated with the term. Dude, you just said you wanted your music to be called internet rock, and now you're complaining that the term incelcore originated from people who spent too much time on the internet? Your entire fucking thing is that you fucking spent too much time on the internet. You're just so full of shit. You're just contradicting yourself. It didn't even originate with anyone associated with the people associated with them. Art should not be dictated by the consumers and communities. Need direction, blah, 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 blah. I feel like I didn't, this is just, okay, I'm done. I can't read any more of this. We're done with that. That's just fucking stupid. The part where he was saying that he's frustrated that, like, the term incelcore came from people on TikTok rather than people on 4chan or whatever, because, like, that's really all there is to it. That's just another way of saying I'm frustrated at women. If we take a look at, this post here, he's like, I was always annoyed by the term because it literally came from clown-haired girls on TikTok calling everything blank core. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. And then it's a picture of some gay guys who are using the term incel core. So guys on the internet all the time being fucking idiots. Cool, let's call it internet rock and e-punk. Girls who listen to the music and call it incelcore. Oh no, it's a crisis where all the normies are after me. That's what, he thinks he's a fucking victim. You're not a fucking victim. And, I look at this rant and I'm thinking, this has got to be fucking parody. This has got to be parody. It's one of those bullshit things. This is a classic trick of the alt-right where they post something that's like half serious, half joking. Like, very clearly Negative XP wants to garner some pity so he can have people rebrand him as like e-punk or internet rock or whatever. Like, that's serious. He seriously wants that. That's what he wants. He doesn't like being called an incel. But then he kind of like probably put some words in there, so I'm gonna trigger everybody, so they're gonna get so triggered, and then if they try to criticize me for being blatantly transparent with my desperate attempt to rebrand, I can just say, trolled, you were triggered. You know what I mean? It's just it's bullshit. And if you actually take a look at the replies here, you'll see there's a lot of replies of people who actually really took, most of the replies were people who took this post seriously. Incelcore in reality is just a controversial version of punk, and punk is supposed to be controversial, so it's just punk. Incelcore is not controversial. Like I said, it's just it's two-dimensional, very easy to understand. It's just bad indie pop that has misogyny in it. That's not controversial. That's very, like I said, it's very easy and transparent to everybody. Okay, just because you're being an asshole doesn't make you controversial. Okay, there's no controversy. It's very objectively, you're just an asshole. And musically, there's nothing punk about it either. It's way more pop than it is punk. And then, I did a reply here saying, what did I say? I said, this is exactly what an incel would say. And this is really the crux of my argument, is that his whole fucking rant is begging people to not call him an incel. But the whole fucking rant is the proof. The proof is in the pudding why he should be called an incel. I don't want to go any further with this. It's just, you can see this dude is a fucking asshole. He's pathetic. If you don't believe me, go listen to his goddamn music and you'll see for yourself. And by the way, if you're a Negative XP fan, feel free to reach out to me. I'm down to talk to you. I can show you better music. I can, I don't want you to fall down this rabbit hole of, you know, this alt-right internet hatred. Like, it's lame as fuck. It's really lame as fuck. And Negative XP, you know, just I hope someday you'll change. I don't think you will. I think you've got yourself a system here where you're just too, it's just, this is too profitable for, you know, for you to stop. But, you know, Negative XP, if you want to come on Twitter, DM me, message me on Discord, come on Twitch, and we can discuss it. I'm happy to talk with you because you need to understand that this is absolutely it's fucking pathetic. And don't, you know, I can actually tell you're desperate to be taken seriously as an artist, hence why you've released so many freaking albums, even though none of them are you know, successful whatsoever. You're only successful because of your one misogynistic song. If you want to try to actually become a successful artist, I can maybe give you some you know, I can talk to you about that and give you some pointers. But just an FYI, this whole thing is just, it's just pathetic, and I don't think you have any chance of redeeming yourself. Unless you apologize and atone for your misogynistic sins. You know, it's so ironic this dude thinks he's a freaking Christian, right? That's all I gotta say, folks. Screw Negative XP, screw you internet incel trolls. You're all gonna be in the replies with the most predictable 4chan-esque, you know, I can just picture them basically just taking all the 4chan buzzwords and just throwing them in my replies, as they always do, to a bunch of fucking 15-year-olds who have no originality whatsoever and think that they're somehow special while everyone else is normies. Just the fucking most pathetic people of all time. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you, Negative XP. Your music sucks. Everyone understands that. And you're an asshole. And you are the most pathetic musician of all time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching Punk Revolution now.